Why can you get rock hard for pixels, but not for the naked woman right in front of you? It's not low testosterone or anxiety. It's a self-sabotaging cycle you don't even realize you're trapped in. And no, those magic pills flooding your inbox won't fix what's really happening. Just like the thousands of men who've come to me for help, you're caught in a pattern that's biologically programming your failure. Every man struggling with PIED needs to understand what's happening to their brain and their body when they regularly masturbate to porn. The billion-dollar industries profiting off your dysfunction don't want you to know this, but I'm about to share the exact science of how you're training your penis to fail and the proven 30-day protocol to reverse the damage. Ever wonder why your dick works perfectly fine when you're alone, but goes AWOL when you're with a real woman? Let me ask you something uncomfortable. When was the last time that you noticed the death grip that you're using when you handle yourself? Yeah, that's what I thought. Here's the deal, man. Most guys have developed some seriously weird masturbation habits over the years. The death grip, right? Squeezing so tight that it turns your knuckles white. Those bizarre positions that would make even your yoga instructor question your sanity. The unrealistic speed that no human being could maintain during actual sex. And let's not forget the porn-induced overstimulation that makes your brain think a normal sexual encounter should look like an Olympic sport. You're literally rewiring your brain and body to only respond to specific masturbation styles and not actual sex. Think of it like a computer with crossed wires. The only program running smoothly is hand.exe, while realwoman.exe keeps crashing. Most guys think they're just enjoying some harmless me time without realizing that they're setting themselves up for failure. It's like training for a marathon by sitting on your couch eating chips and then wondering why you can't run a mile without collapsing. Your sexual response isn't developing naturally because it's being warped and twisted into something that only works under specific conditions. Your brain is forming neural pathways specific to how you get off, right? If that's always with your hand squeezing the life out of your dick while you watch the most unrealistic scenarios, your brain's not prepared for the sights, sounds, and sensations of actual sex. You've trained your equipment to respond to a fantasy world that doesn't exist in your bedroom. The real kicker? This isn't just physical. It's psychological warfare that you're waging against your own dick. Your brain starts associating arousal with being alone, in complete control with zero performance pressure. Real sex? That's the opposite of all those things. It's unpredictable. It involves another person's needs. And yes, there is a pressure to perform. Your dopamine receptors get absolutely fried from these high stimulation activities, making your brain less sensitive to normal pleasure. Real sexual encounters start to seem boring by comparison, like switching from a roller coaster to a merry-go-round. Your brain is constantly chasing that intense dopamine hit that only comes from your specific routine. Think about it. When was the last time you masturbated in the same position that you'd actually have sex in? Never? That's what I thought. You're training for the wrong sport, brother. Recovery takes time. Your brain needs weeks, sometimes months, to reset and form healthier neural pathways. Understanding this cycle is the first step to breaking free from it. Now, those neural pathways we talked about, they're like highways your brain has built over years and years of bad habits. And highways can be redirected, right? The 30-day Dick Detox isn't about white-knuckling through another impossible no-fap challenge. This is strategic neurological warfare against the habits that have been holding your manhood hostage. Look, I get it. You've probably tried to quit before. Maybe lasted a few days before convincing yourself that just this once won't hurt. But that's because you didn't have a structured battle plan designed specifically for your brain's rewiring process. The 30-day Dick Detox works because it's built on the science of neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Think of it like recalibrating a misprogrammed device. Your brain can create new pathways that support healthy sexual responses instead of the dysfunctional ones that you've been reinforcing. Here's how the protocol breaks down. Days 1 through 10, complete abstinence. No touching, no peeking, nothing. This critical phase resets your dopamine receptors. Your brain will throw wild excuses at you, like, I need to make sure everything still works, or I've got painful blue balls, just release me. Recognize these for what they are: withdrawal symptoms. Days 11 to 20, reintroduction phase. Physical stimulation returns, but without the visual stimulation. I want you to stand in the shower, starting with 1 minute on the first day, and then going up a minute per day. You're gonna let the water fall directly on your penis. You're teaching your brain to respond to physical sensations again, not images on a screen. Sex happens in your body, not just in your head. In days 21 to 30, bridge building. You'll use techniques that mimic real sex, okay? Looser grip, realistic positions, sustainable rhythms. This creates the connection between the solo experiences and the partner experiences. Think of it as practice for the real game. One powerful tool throughout is keeping a daily journal. Track your urges, your rationalizations, and patterns of self-sabotage. You'll see how your body responds differently as the protocol progresses. Guys who do this consistently discover mind-blowing insights about how they program themselves for failure. This isn't just some temporary fix. It resets the systems that have been programmed over years. Most doctors won't even tell you this, but men can actually regain sexual function without pills by addressing the root causes of the dysfunction, aka desensitization. I want to be straight with you, brother. The first week of this challenge is going to be incredibly challenging, all right? Your brain is addicted to your current patterns and will fight you every step of the way. It's like breaking any powerful habit, okay? There's a withdrawal period. But as you push through that initial resistance, something incredible happens. Your brain creates new neural pathways. Your body begins responding to different types of stimulation, and the gap between what happens alone versus with the partner starts to close. When your brain realizes you're serious about making a change, it pulls out the big guns, okay? An arsenal of excuses that sound perfectly logical. Ever told yourself you need to masturbate for prostate health? Or that your situation is different? These aren't random thoughts. These are sophisticated defense mechanisms designed specifically to keep you stuck right where you are. Let's call these excuses what they really are. Fear in disguise, right? Your brain isn't fighting to keep you pleasuring yourself. It's fighting to avoid what happens when you actually fix the problem. Because once you reset those patterns, you'll have to show up in the bedroom and perform. And that's terrifying, isn't it? That prostate health excuse, classic self-protection. The evidence linking masturbation frequency and prostate health is mixed at best. Your ancestors weren't dropping dead from prostate issues before the internet porn existed, right? This is your brain medicalizing your habit to make it sound necessary. Then there's the guy claiming, I've already tried everything, while skipping the one thing that would actually work. It's like complaining about your weight while refusing to change what you eat. You'll try pills, pumps, and sketchy supplements, but won't consider that maybe changing your daily habits, those are the things that are creating the problem. Fear of intimacy also drives this behavior more than you realize. When you push partners away, it's not about your equipment failing. It's about protecting yourself from getting too close. Many of us learned early on that closeness equals pain. So your brain found the perfect solution. Keep the pleasure and avoid the vulnerability, all right? The most dangerous excuse though, I don't really have this problem. Meanwhile, you're popping Viagra at 30 or creating elaborate reasons to avoid sex. Denial is powerful. You'd rather believe something's physically wrong than face the truth. You've conditioned yourself into the situation. What's happening in your bedroom is self-sabotage. You walk in expecting failure because there's a fear of both failing and succeeding. If you succeed, you'll have to be vulnerable. You'll have to connect. You might get judged or rejected. So your brain makes sure that it doesn't work in the first place. Your body isn't broken. It's been trained to respond to different conditions that don't exist during actual sex. This isn't about physical techniques. It's about the psychological barriers that you've built. That voice saying, this won't work for me specifically, right? This keeps you reaching for quick fixes instead of addressing the actual problem. When those excuses pop up, write them down, challenge them. Ask yourself, is this actually true? Or is this my fear talking? Because behind every health reason, excuse, is usually a man terrified of what happens when he actually shows up fully in the bedroom. Let me tell you, man, this journey isn't just about fixing what's happening below the belt, right? It's about taking back your entire life. I've seen guys completely transform after making these changes. One client told me that for the first time in years, he feels like a complete man. Not just in the bed, but in every aspect of his life. The path forward is crystal clear. You can keep training your body to fail when it matters most, or commit to these 30 days that will change everything. Think of it as breaking free from these digital chains that have you bound, reclaiming a future that's rightfully yours. Your equipment isn't permanently damaged, brother. It's responding exactly how you've programmed it to. The power to reprogram, it sits in your hands right now. And hey, finally in a way that doesn't require incognito mode. Your future self is begging you to make this change today. If you need help, you know where to find me. And I'll see you in the next video. Much love.